The first atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima.
Over humanity!
The fires of frustration and discord are burning in every
Let us
city.
not forget for a moment the toils and efforts that lie ahead.
They say that those who forget their history are condemned to repeat it. This is the History Lessons Podcast with certified financial planning practitioner Patrick Huey, author of History Lessons for the Modern Investor, and your guide to financial wisdom in the past, present, and future. You ready? Good. Let's get historical.
Hello, I'm Patrick Huey, author of History Lessons for the Modern Investor. This is how history can help inform your investments, retirement, and tax planning for the week of November 10th, 2025. Well, today we're focusing on the foundation of everyone's investment plan, which is French philosophy, right? Sure it is, because on November 12th, 1637, René Descartes published Discourse on the Method. On that day, doubt became a superpower in the form of one of the foundational texts in Western philosophy and science. At a time when dogma, myth, and tradition ruled, Descartes proposed something incredibly radical. Doubt everything. Yeah, doubt everything. And then rebuild your own beliefs from first principles and then clear observation. Instead of accepting the way it's always been, Descartes urged readers to test, break down, question, and rebuild, step by logical step. Though the text is most famous for cognito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am, its real message is about the tools of rigorous thought, skepticism, method, and humility in the face of the unknown. It's a legacy that would shape mathematics, science, and ultimately the very notion of evidence-based progress. And, dare I say, your investment planning. Here then are 4 lessons for the modern investor from Descartes' method. First of all, doubt. That's it, just doubt. That's the first step towards better decision making. Now, Descartes' genius wasn't just in doubting the world, it was in using doubt as a starting point for discovery. Markets and businesses too are full of hype, noise, and illusion, you may have noticed. The boldest investors don't just challenge consensus, they habitually question their assumptions. So don't fear uncertainty, but use it to refine your process, to avoid groupthink, and to cut through fads. Next up, divide and conquer. You see, complex problems need simple breakdowns into simple pieces. And Descartes advocated breaking every problem into as many smaller parts as necessary. Similarly, when facing complex investing or strategic decisions, don't get overwhelmed by the big picture. Deconstruct the risk, the allocation, the goals, and the uncertainty into digestible elements. Tackle each step methodically, and you'll gain better clarity and control. Third, demand proof, not comfort. Descartes urged never to accept anything as true unless it was evident and justifiable. But today, investors are swayed by stories, charismatic advice, or flashy data. You need to demand evidence. Test your new strategies with small investments. Require a clear rationale for every move and embrace only what passes for your own bar of proof. Comfort, like hope, is not a strategy, but validation most certainly is. And finally, regularly rebuild your frameworks. Philosophy and science march forward by updating their frameworks as new evidence emerges. The same should be true in investing. What worked last year may not suit this one for a variety of different reasons, market-based or personal. So use periodic reviews to challenge, update, and re-justify your investing playbook without becoming attached to the past certainty. The only dogma worth keeping is the conviction not to let dogma rule you. Okay, here's a final thought. Descartes' method turned doubt into a discipline, not an obstacle. It was a lifelong habit of questioning, refining, and building on solid ground. In times of change and confusion, that habit is as valuable for investors as it ever was for philosophers. Sometimes the wisest word you can say about a strategy, a stock, or the market itself will always be, let me check that one out for myself.